Hello guys, CTP Ram here with simplymaya.com, and one of the users, let me see if I can grab his post here, with a whole bunch of consonants as a name, KVNMCWEBN, is working on a project, and he's trying to model this keg here. And since you're just starting out, I thought I'd just kind of throw in a couple ideas to help you out here. So you can see the top of the keg here, he's got this, there's this rounded part which is actually curled around. This starts out as a solid, or a ring of aluminum, I'm guessing, and then they somehow roll this upper edge around. And then of course the handle's punched through here, and then this part of the handle is sort of rounded and pulled up right here. And I'm not sure if his question is regarding the this upper rounded part, or how this little part of the handle gets rounded and pulled up here. So I thought I'd just quickly show you how I would do that. Once again, in Maya, there's lots of different ways you can do everything, but here's the result of what I've done, and you can see that you've got the punched handle here, and I'm going to unsmooth it. You can see I've added some thickness to the whole thing, about 1/10 of an inch of thickness, and you can see how I've got that rolled up part of the handle here. And then if I get in real close underneath here, you can see that this upper ring part is also curled around. It's not solid. It curls around, and you can see the break in the edge here. So I'll show you how I did that. First thing is I started with two NURBS curves. I went over here to create NURB and created two NURB circles. And this outer circle, originally I created it, and it was, let me come in here and reset it back to, I'm going to rebuild it with 6. Boom. So there you go. The original curve I built, you can see the little X's indicate how many segments this circle has, and right now it's at 6. And likewise, I created a little smaller one right here with also 6 segments. And if I take the profile and the path, I can go down here to surfaces. Let's do extrude. I'll go to options. I'm going to extrude this profile shape around this curve. I'm going to do a tube. I want to do it at path. I want to do it component, and I want to do profile normal. So basically, click all the radio buttons all the way over to the right. I want to produce a NURB object, or I'm sorry, a polygon object. By default, you're going to create NURB. So check this polygon button here and hit apply, and there you go. Magically, we get a sort of a tube surface that looks kind of wonky here because there's, frankly, there's not enough segments in this circle, and I just wanted to show you that because this thing has history, I can come in here and select this circle, and then after the fact, I can come into edit curves, and I can say rebuild this curve and go to its options, and this little box pops up here, and I want to do uniform. I like 0 to span, and I'm going to change this from 6 to 30. Now I experimented with this to find out how many sides I want to do. Also, after the fact, because I've done the rebuild here now, I can come to the rebuild node, and if I find 30 is too many, I can roll it back, and if I find 30 is not enough, I can roll it forward. For this case, 30 worked out well, and the reason is that once I get the side of this can, I'm going to use this as the upper part of this can, and I'm going to pull it down, and what I want to do is I want to create this hole for the handle, but I wanted it such that I had 2 edges that are running through this handle, so I get this proper rounded shape at the end of the handle. And also I wanted to maintain the shape of the can. So I picked those 30 sides because of this handle here and that requirement to push the handle in and wanting to have 2 edges that run through the handle. I did that. So anyway, next thing I need to do is I don't want this to be a solid ring. I want it to be sort of curled around, so I can actually take and select this whole row of faces here and delete it. And then I can come here and I can take this edge and I can extrude that edge straight down. And that gets me now that curled upper part of the can. When I round it, now you see I got how this thing curls around, right? And now I want to also, you notice it kind of does this weird tapering in here, so I want to hold this edge a little better so I get less of that tapering. I want it to stay out here. So what I'm going to do is insert an edge loop, I want to make sure I like equal distance and plop an edge right there. Now you see it rounds, but it doesn't lose its shape around this corner. Right? So now the next thing is I want to put that handle in. So what I want is 3 edges for the handle. One that goes through the middle and one above and below. That's once again, I'll smooth this guy out and you can see that's pretty much what I did. And then what I'll do is let's go to perspective. Let's turn the grid on and find out where this guy's at. Let's take it. This guy's already hogging the origin, so I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to center its pivot, and I'm going to snap it over to holding the X key down in the middle mouse button. I'm going to snap it. I'm going to snap it to that where these two axes cross, so it's in the center. And I can see that from this side with 30 edges, let's see, did I really go 30 edges on this one? Because I'm finding that, hold on a second. See, on this one, however many edges, or however many segments I had in this circle, I had in one direction I crossed right through the center of the object, and from the other direction I got handily these nice 3 surfaces right here. So I obviously didn't do something the same. Let's, but once again, because it has history, I have the advantage. I can go to that guy, go to where I rebuild the curve. Oh, that's probably why, because I see 29 here. Now this happens because I'm rebuilding the curve after I've modified the thing that I extruded from it. So all I'm going to do to fix this is I'm going to come in here and just delete that surface, and let's create a new one. Let's make sure this one's going to be right though. So I've got 30 now. I've got 30, and if I take this guy and holding the X key down, pop it over to here, there you go. You see I've got one vertex is going to cross through the center of this this edge, and then from this side I'm going to get 3 segments going through this this axis right here, which is what I want. So that's just I did 29 instead of 30 before. So once again, click the profile, click the curve, and then go down here to surfaces and extrude, and all the settings are the same, so that'll work out. And then come down underneath this guy. I don't need that grid anymore. I'm going to come underneath here. I'm going to select that row of faces, make them gone, take this edge and extrude it down. Right? And then once again, to hold this shape as it comes around this corner, I'm going to come in here and insert an edge loop right there. See, that holds that shape nice now. And then I'm going to come over here and let's add, let's say the handle needs to be down here, between there, and then one through the center. And then, so I see where to cut the hole. I'm going to bring the grid back again for a second. You can see this axis is going through these 3 faces right here. So it's these 3 faces that I want to work with. So drop that tool, go to face mode, and I'm wanting to work with these 3 faces right here for the handle. Now, so for that handle, all I have to do is go over and extrude those faces. I'm going to come over to my channel box, and I'm going to go to offset. And to use the middle mouse button, I'm going to set this offset. I'm going to scrub to change this offset. But right now, if I try to do that, it's going to be really hypersensitive. It's going to be kind of hard to, it's going to move in big chunks, in other words. So if I come over to here and I go to Edit Settings and set that to slow, it makes that a lot less sensitive. So I can say let's extrude it just or offset it just that much. Okay, this gives me a little border boundary edge around this thing to work with. And then what I can do is once again get that grid out of our way, come down here, and I'll go to vertex mode, and I'm going to pick that vertex right there. I'm going to hit the W key, go to its tool settings, and I'm going to say move normal. And I'm going to pick these 3 edges. I'm just going to eyeball this because it's not super critical. So I'm going to hit once again normal mode. I'm going to move all these guys over like that. And I'm going to do the same thing from this side. Grab these guys, moving them along their surface normals. I'm going to move them over to here. This basically moves these vertices along this face without trying not to lose the shape. So it's moving it along that surface. And then what I can do, and I'm just eyeballing this, now I can take this middle one, because I ultimately want to get that rounded shape, right, when I smooth this. So what I can do is pick this middle vert and just pull it out a little bit this side, take this middle vert, pull it out a little bit that side, and then what I can do is take these faces and then once again give myself a little boundary. I'm going to extrude those again. Oop, let's undo that and let's not pick these guys in the back. And then let's extrude this. That looks better. Yep. And then once again go to our channel box, go to offset. I'm just going to offset that inward just a little bit. And then I'm going to take those same faces that are already selected and I'm going to extrude them again. And this time I'm going to push them in. Alright, like that. Just depends on how much you want this handle pushed in. And then I don't need those faces anymore, so I'll just delete them. And now you can see when I smooth the whole thing, you get that nice handle shape. And then finally what I'll do is come over here and take these edges, boom, boom, and I'll extrude those upward. And when you round, that automatically creates that nice curved shape coming around this way. Now you notice you get some sharp corners here, and that's because there's no thickness to this whole do-jigger. So if I pick what I've got right now, oops, helps if I hit the right keys. And I pick what I have right now, and so now I'll just add some thickness to the whole thing. So once again, I'll just do an extrude on the whole container. I'll come down here to thickness. This was added in Maya 2012, so if you're not running Maya 2012, you won't have a thickness here. And what you can do instead is come up here to where's the manipulator? If I bring the manipulator back, you can just grab this Z direction here, and you can pull it out a little bit to give it some thickness. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to use the thickness here and just give it, oops, let's pick that, go down to thickness, and I'm just going to give it a little thickness. I'm going to pull it out. This way I can control it more. I can give it, say, 0.01, so I can give it 1/100th of a centimeter. That's only a centimeter, 100th of a centimeter. 0.1 is going to be way too much, so 0.02. That looks good. Give it a little thickness there. So now when I smooth it, you see it rounds. And now it's supposed to be thin metal, so this is probably the right thickness. And now you see that edge curls around like you want it to curl around underneath, and you get this part of the can modeled. So I hope this helps you out, gives you some ideas on one way that you can do this. And if you run into any problems with the other parts, just feel free to ask in the forums. This has been CTB Ram with SimplyMaya.com, and I hope this helps you out in your modeling.